The second week of the Dylan trial is underway, and Justin Bieber has finally come out against Sean Danny Combs. He has released a public statement that addresses all of the accusations and names all of the celebrities that Dylan has worked with. You'll be surprised to learn who was involved. Prosecutors have shown proof of celebrities' connections to Diddy, demonstrating that he wasn't operating alone and that some of Hollywood's most well-known figures assisted him in hiding his crimes.
I'm scared to pull out.
I do feel bad, sorry for real, trying to bombard.
Guys, it's money. You don't care about people. Only money. Only money. No people. You don't care about human beings. Go. Go. Go.
Prosecutors have provided jurors with a list of names, which includes more than 100 names, including dozens of A-level celebrities. The public will support these individuals throughout the trial. Cassie, as we've already seen with Kanye West, Hollywood is secretly supporting Puffy, and these celebs are working to get Trump pardon Diddy.
Justin Bieber, breaking his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy piquing interest online as the rap mogul's indictment for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage resurfacing.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go get some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about.
We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini. It's,
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Some things, everything ain't for everybody.
This all comes as Bieber's followers are worried for him, the singer's erratic social media posts causing concern week after week, the Beliebers asking if what he's seen behind the scenes of the industry.
For the first time since Dylan was charged, representatives from Justin's side have made a public statement about the circumstances in both cases. Although Justin was not molested by Diddy, he is aware that there was actual abuse occurring behind the scenes and supports anyone who comes forward. You'll notice that Justin never explained how the abuse was alleged, which is because he is certain that the accusations were true.
Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. It rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one? And he was like, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again, and he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like, what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
So man, you good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
When Justin was barely 13 years old, Usher signed him. His record label, The Face Records, followed his instructions and signed him. When Justin joined the company, Usher gave him to Diddy, who wasn't his manager, mentor, or even his talent advisor. So why was Diddy granted custody of Justin?
Bad boy. Check my bitch, I'ma break it again. Feds keeping the spot. Feds outside, like them Yeezys go dry. Watch out, little bitch. You get it back. I'm getting rich. You get it back. I'm getting rich.
Cookouts, yeah, that's why I'm standing on Ferraris, yeah. In the 6'4", 6'5", too big for a Bugatti. That's why I'm standing on Ferraris.
Around the same time that Justin began acting out, film of Justin partying with Diddy and seemed incredibly uncomfortable is now being unearthed. There were also rumors that Diddy was abusing Justin and pimped him out to other celebs.
Do you know Raymond Usher the Fourth?
No.
Do you know an individual entertainer by the name of Usher?
Yeah, Usher. That sounds familiar.
Isn't it true that Usher was instrumental in starting your career?
What does that have to do with this litigation, Mr. DeKalb? This is just you trying to harass the client.
Before we came back here, you'd asked me.
She's gonna
Let her read back the question. Thank you for your memory.
I was found on YouTube. I think that I was detrimental to my own career.
Justin Bieber is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. Of course, many people, I believe, are accurately assuming that this has something to do One element has to do with the Diddy lawsuit. A lot of revelations were made in the Diddy lawsuit. So I'm going to start this by saying allegedly. Okay, obviously, he has not yet been convicted of everything, but I knew that he was going to get arrested because after reading through this lawsuit, there were just so many pictures, way too many descriptions. He had hours of video footage proving his claims. I'm referring to the person who initially filed this, Rodney Lil Rod, a producer, who went into great detail, laborious effort to basically describe almost a homosexual ring in which people were being drugged at various Diddy parties. But he describes how essentially him, being a young producer, they tried to initiate him into homosexuality. And I'm going to read this directly from a lawsuit. It says, quote, Mr. Combs, that's Diddy, used access to Stevie J and his knowledge that the producer, Mr. Jones, admired Stevie J to groom and enticed Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. But then there's a footnote in the filing, right? Because the names are redacted. And in the footnote, it reads that regarding the R&B singer that Diddy allegedly slept with, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. So this let people know that very clearly the name that was redacted had to have been Usher, because it was Usher who recently performed at the Super Bowl, and it was Usher at the time of this filing who had just had a very successful Vegas resident.
According to insiders, Diddy was having trouble signing Justin, so Usher signed him as a favor. In the past few years, Justin has completely distanced himself from both Diddy and Usher, even turning down his request to perform at the Super Bowl. This is why Justin has testified that Usher was detrimental to his career and negatively affected him.
Being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and yeah, so yeah, I just want to protect her, I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me,
In an interview with Apple Music, Justin discussed the unfavorable treatment he had in the music business as well. He said that he still feels ashamed of it and that he wants to shield all upcoming musicians.
I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit?
Justin's use of narcotics was merely a means for him to block out the memories of what he had to endure, which still haunt him now. Hollywood is a filthy and gloomy environment where kids are exploited and their parents don't give a damn about what happens to them as long as they can use their kids to get money.
They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like, what kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more? Because that's what pedophiles do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young kids. Now, if Usher is a procurer, and if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak-Off, is he a good guy? Especially considering what happened to him, especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for yours.
And then you have them come to audition for you, right?
Actually, with a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere.
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts? Or are you sitting there? Usher, are you sitting down with him and say, yeah, show your or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that.
Usher already knew what kind of person Dylan was after taking him to Puffy Flavor Camp when he was 13 years old. He knew that Dylan abused children and what Justin would have to go through, but he still gave Justin over to Dylan. This cycle of abuse began when Usher made Justin a victim as well. Dylan could never have done all of this alone. This industry is built on the backs of pets, which is the only reason Dylan was able to get away with everything for so long.
I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Yeah, look at that beautiful face. All right, now it's time to...
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer, Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay, imagine that.
You know I got balloons.
Hey, this is a brand new.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother.
Yeah.
Like, I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. Like, he's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asking him as one of the questions, like, have you had the sex talk? This is Hollywood for you.
In his music video for the song Yum, Justin has made references to all of the people who have mistreated him over the years. Justin Bieber utilized images of babies to promote the song, implying that certain music executives view everyone as a target. Justin also displayed graphics that suggested Clive Davis was supposedly an abuser.
Hey, President Bieber. Yeah. Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was a little.
That was weird.
That was crazy.
That was weird. They did not run through Bieber.
Still was pressing him like, why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
Yeah. Like, I don't got a video of me fingering you.
He wasn't answering for a reason.
He was like, I don't ever want to contact because you did things.
At the time, Usher and Danny were in charge of Justin's career, so he had no choice but to stay with them, even though every time he tried to leave, they would come after him. These individuals manipulate your career and threaten to blackball you if you attempt to leave the industry.
Groomed that young girl. Took that impressionable young girl who wanted to be a star, who wanted all her dreams that she had to come true, and fed her drugs, fed her pills, fed her alcohol, and fed her mushrooms and things that she never took before to F her mind up, and then put her in a position that she thought that what little that she had, that she didn't want to lose it. If you didn't think that he did something and did that to her, bro, I gotta say something wrong with you.
This week has been extremely challenging, but also remarkably empowering and healing for me. I hope that my testimony has given strength and a voice to other survivors and can help others who have suffered to speak up and also heal from abuse and fear. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never forget. I'm glad to put this chapter of my life to rest. As I turn to focus on the conclusion of my pregnancy, I ask for privacy for me and for my growing family. And then I have a statement from Alex Fine. Over the past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife, freeing herself of her past. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. You know, I don't want to get into the province of what the jury is going to be deliberating on in this case, and all I would say and repeat is that my view as her lawyer, a witness to this case and not a party, is that she was brutally honest. She was candid.
Not only did Justin groom her, but Cassie was also a victim. When Cassie was just 19, a 40-year-old man began grooming her, and no one found it strange that he was having an affair with a 19-year-old girl. Cassie also made a statement following her testimony, saying that the more she remembers, the more it hurts, but she's glad she was able to stop an abuser, which is likely the case with Justin.